Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using some new rub-ons from scrapbook.com. Scrapbook.com recently released a bunch of fun rub-on transfer sets. In today's video, I'll be using the Flower Garden black and white set. There are two sheets, same design, one in black and one in white. I'll also be using the Hello Spring stamp and coordinating dies, plus the Marcotte Bloom Florals die set. For pattern paper, I have Scrapbook.com's Berry Sweet collection. This is one of my favorites. And if you're interested in any of the products I use in this video, I do have links in the description box below. For my card, I'll be using the black version of the Floral Garden rub-on. I'll be adding the rub-on design on one of the pattern papers, a green plaid design, and I cut down the rub-on sheet and the pattern paper sheet to 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. The rub-on packs include a popsicle stick so you can transfer the image. I'll be using a die cut machine. I'll remove the backer sheet from the rub-on, line it up on some pattern paper. I'm using Spellbinder's Platinum 6 die cut machine. The black color is exclusive to Scrapbook.com. I have the acrylic plate on the bottom and one of Scrapbook.com's magic mats on top. And I am using a brand new magic mat, so there's no creases on it. I'll run it through the machine 2 times. I have used this technique before and it worked beautifully, but I've never done it with a full sheet rub-on. Very carefully, I'll peel back that cover sheet, and I see there are a few areas that didn't fully transfer. So I did pull out the popsicle stick that's included, and I'll just gently rub those areas. Even though I had just some tiny little areas that didn't fully transfer, I still feel like the die cut machine was a success. If I had to do this full design using just the popsicle stick, I think it would have taken me forever. So if you've never tried the die cut machine technique for your rub-ons, I highly recommend it. And with any rub-ons, you always want to remove that backing very slowly, since there can always be an area that didn't transfer. Next, I'll layer the floral design on some solid green pattern paper, and this is included in the Berry Sweet paper pad. The green paper is an additional 1/8 of an inch, so 5 3/8 of an inch by 4 1/8 of an inch. I'm using Scrapbook.com's Deluxe adhesive roller. Now I'll put more adhesive on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I was trying to decide if the floral design was direction specific, but I don't think it really matters. Now I'll set aside the card and start working on some flowers. I cut out a variety of flowers using the Marcotte Bloom floral die set. The green paper is more of the pattern paper from the Berry Sweet collection. It's the same color I use for that background layer. I'm adding just a tiny bit of ink on the edge of all of the flowers. The ink color is Catherine Pooler's Lime Rickey. I'm doing all of the inking on a cut down version of Scrapbook.com's white project grip mat. The mat was originally 12 by 12 inches in size, but I cut out a small piece of it. I use it for gluing die cut pieces together, sometimes inking up those die cut pieces, and it helps keep my white Workspace mat nice and clean. I'm adding just that tiny bit of ink along the edge, and it'll give the flowers a little more dimensional look. For a sentiment, I've already stamped and cut this out, Hello Lovely. Using the outline die, I cut out another piece from some silver mirror paper, and that's included in Scrapbook.com's Holographic mirror paper pad. I glued the 2 pieces together, creating a silver mirror drop shadow underneath the sentiment. In addition to the green flowers, I'll also be adding a bunch of vellum foliage pieces. And the foliage dies are also included on the Marcotte Bloom Florals die set. The sentiment will be going in the very center of the card. I won't adhere it down yet. First, I'll add all of the green flowers. And I'm just holding that sentiment there so I can get the placement of all the flowers. I'm using Scrapbook.com's Artis glue, putting just a little bit in the center of the flowers. I'll add 3 of the flowers in the top row and 3 more underneath. And I'm adding the largest flowers diagonal from each other. One will be in the upper left-hand corner and the other will be in the lower right-hand corner. Then I'll fill in the rest of the areas with the other 4 flowers. The Marcotte Bloom Floral die set does include the centers for all of the flowers, but I won't be using it for my cards. I will pop up the sentiment using some foam dimension. I'm using Scrapbook.com's 1/4 inch foam in the 1 millimeter thickness. I won't remove the release paper yet. First, I'll adhere all of the vellum foliage pieces down. So again, I'm just holding that sentiment in the center to get the placement of all the other die cut pieces. I'm only putting glue at the very bottom of the foliage pieces, so if they're on the longer side, I am tearing off that bottom portion. I don't want any of the adhesive to show through on the vellum. So I'm trying to put glue in the area that will be covered up with the sentiment. To help keep all my die cut pieces organized, I had them stored in one of Scrapbook.com's stack and sort trays. This is the smaller size. With the white workspace, it is hard to see the vellum die cuts in the tray right now. I have just one more small foliage piece to adhere. Just add that tiny bit of Artis glue on the bottom, then I'll press it in place. Now I'll flip over the sentiment, remove the release paper, then I'll add the sentiment in the very center of my card. Trying to make sure to get it nice and straight. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. The other card, of course, I had to make with pink flowers. I used the pink solid pattern paper from the Berry Sweet collection for the background, and by using the darker pink color, you can see the lovely white flower rub-on design. Decided to add a little bit of sparkle on the vellum foliage pieces. I'm using Scrapbook.com's clear glitter brush marker. Many years ago, when I used to do scrapbooking, rub-ons were very popular, and then they just sort of disappeared. So it's so fun to see them coming back again. And now I'm using them for card making instead of for scrapbooks. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.